The winner of American Idol is...
He's literally only said that to so many people, and we're two of them. That's so cool.
Good to see you guys.
I found out something new that I did not know. I didn't know that you were originally, they maybe almost had you as a judge.
Yeah, originally when the producers, Nigel and Ken, were setting up the show, they had heard me on the radio here in Los Angeles, and they thought that I might fit the panel to be up there with whoever else was already on. I guess Simon was already on board, and I don't know who else at that point. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I would love to audition to be the host. And so I auditioned eventually to be the host, and I got the job. So I'm happy to still have the job.
I know, that's incredible. I was like, what would it be like if you initially were one of the judges?
See, the problem is I'm like in auto host mode all the time, so I don't know that I'd be able to sit behind the desk and just give feedback. I'd want to do that, then toss the commercial, welcome back, how are you? You know, and it would be too much.
Are you like this in life? Like when you're with family or like on a date, you're just like, wait, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to.
On a date, good evening, how are you? We would like to have the nachos, followed by, I think, would you like the fajitas? Matter of fact, let's have the beef and chicken fajitas, and we'll be right back after we use the bathroom.
No, so I have a question. So did you always know? Because it's such a, it's a job where I think a few have really excelled as much as you and like Dick Clark. Like there's few that have gotten that status to where it's just like, oh my God, that's like such a pop culture icon, right? So there's very few. So that's job well done. But also like, what were you like as a kid? Did you always want to do something like this?
So as a kid, I wanted to be on the TV show Chips as a California Highway Patrol biker policeman.
The stash?
I wanted to be, you know, Poncherella or John Baker, one of those guys on the bike. So I pretended to do that in the neighborhood on my Schwinn. And I got from Service Merchandise a siren, and I pretended I was a CHP officer. Well, then I realized, not for me. So I also bought a Radio Shack mixer when I was a kid, and I pretended to be Casey Kasem, counting down the hits. I pretended to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And when I sort of really got into recording on cassettes, I offered to do outgoing messages for answering machines at the time. So I would say to my mom, can I do the outgoing message for the Seacrest family on the little micro tape?
Yeah.
Or to the neighbors. Listen, I'd love to do the outgoing message for the Tuckers down the street. You've reached the Tucker residence. They're not home right now, but after the beep, you can leave a message. And I would try and charge them for that.
What an interesting kid.
I was a little different.
It worked out. It worked out. So how is Idol different now than when Taylor and I were there? Because it's different, obviously.
Yeah, the world has evolved, right?
Yeah.
I mean, music has evolved in such a great way as well, and these
artists have seen success.
Well, they've seen the map, so you know they've seen you, they've seen Carrie, they've seen Taylor, they've seen success stories, Jennifer as well. And so they know that they can really be a big star.
Yeah.
So now when they're 8, 9 years old, they tell me they start training for the audition. So when they're of age to audition,
oh my God, how old are we?
Well, I can tell you, if you want to know, I'm reminded every day I try and jump right here on my right knee. But they really practice, and it's almost like a sport, right?
Yeah.
Like they train for the sport of getting to audition for Idol, and when they get there, they've got it down. They're impressive. And the judges who are really fantastic, you know all of them.
Yeah.
They're so super fantastic. They respect each other. They love the show.
They're so different too. I love how that works.
They really want everybody to succeed, and so they work with them. You don't get to see all this because the audition shows are edited, but they really work with them to try and get them to be their best.
Yeah.
And you see that, and you see their love for it. And I think that's what makes it magical.
Yeah, they're very emotional too. I think that's cool as artists when they're judges sitting there, but they're also those artists and they connect. It's nice to see that. Yeah, because it feels authentic, and that's why people have loved this show so long, I think. We are back with the host of American Idol, Ryan Seacrest, everybody. Also sitting in with the band all hours, American Idol winner Taylor Hicks. Give it up for him, y'all. So to celebrate Idol turning 21, you posted this photo of your 21st birthday. Let's check it out. So, look at those highlights.
Those are not natural highlights.
Those are great sun glistening highlights.
I don't know if you know how this works, anybody here, but you go and you sit with foil.
Foil?
And then they put you into this big helmet. And
I don't know what you're talking about. This is all natural.
I don't know if anybody knows. But that was me. And what I see in that is my mother and also my father leaning over. And the birthday cake, I know what that is. That is a graham cracker crust, chocolate fudge bottom, with mint chocolate chip ice cream in a in that pan that...
Is this your birthday thing that you have every year?
It is. I love it so much. I love it so much.
Who came up with that?
My mother, I don't know if she got it from like a Julia Child recipe or something. From
I don't know, but I love that your birthday thing was in one of those Pyrex things. It's so me, my childhood.
It's how we grew up. I mean,
yeah.
I would eat nachos out of that same pan.
Me too.
The next day.
Pull them out of the oven. Yeah, yeah.
And that pan, I wish I had that pan now.
Yeah,
if that pan could talk.
Yeah. So you sometimes talk about your mom on your radio show. Does she like this or not? I always ask comics about this too.
Like, what do they tell you?
It's all over. It's across the board.
My mother...
They like to be talked about, but they don't like to be talked about.
Well, which is a very interesting thing to navigate. So my mother and my dad, they've been married forever. They're wonderful.
It's something crazy, like over 50 years.
Over 50 years. We have a very close family.
Over 50 years.
There they are.
That doesn't even happen anymore.
I know. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
So they are wonderful, and they watch and listen to everything. Well, my mother, I will tell a story about them on a romantic vacation or something like this, and she says, and she likes to do that. When she speaks to me, she's like, Ryan, John, you don't let all of our secrets out, do you? I said, well, Mother, I mean, you're going on an anniversary trip, you know. And she said, well, Ryan, John, don't say anything before we go. I don't want my fans to find me.
Oh my God.
Now, Mother, do you think that they're going to get on a Delta flight from Atlanta and come find you on this island in the Caribbean because they've heard me talk about it?
She might end up a Dateline special for that hardcore.
But it's cute because she really enjoys it, and she really is. She's wonderful, and she takes pictures with people and loves it. I guess they do recognize her because she was on Live with Kelly and Ryan every now and then too.
Yeah.
But
no, I think
it's great to have that. I love that relationship with my parents.
Yeah. I love that you have just like such a great support system. That's amazing. Like over 50 years, just having that stability in a family.
And yet I'm unmarried, so I'm trying to figure...
You know why though? You know, hey, this was a question though. You know why though? I think you and I are similar in the fact that I really do, like from a young age, I've always had lots of jobs. I often wonder, because people ask me this, oh, do you regret being so busy? And I'm like, I think what other people perceive as really busy, I don't perceive as really busy. Like I can get exhausted, you know, and I do feel like I could cut back, but like, have you kind of always been 9-0? Like, do you regret being so busy all the time?
No, I have no regrets about it. I operate busy. Like I do more things when I'm busy. If I have one thing to do on a weekend, I almost don't get it done. So I operate like that. And I just knew what I wanted to do so badly, and I was lucky enough to start chipping away at that. And so the more I was doing what I loved, the more I took on, hoping that I could do it for a long period of time, right? And have longevity in it. So
no one has the kind of longevity that you have. Like, that's incredible.
Thank you. I've 30 more years I'd love to do this.
Yeah,
you know?
You will be. That's crazy.
But it's gone by fast, but I've gotten to a place in my life where I don't regret. You know, like there's nothing good about that.
Yeah.
There's no productivity.
No one wins there.
You just stay up all night thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Well, later we have a woman who is part of your Seacrest Studios, which I've actually...
You've been to a couple of them, yes.
Yeah. So can you tell everybody about that?
So years ago, I wanted to do something for children's hospitals, and I talked to parents and patients about their stays in the hospitals. And there was, in the places I worked, there was not the heartbeat, a place for people that were in the hospital, both parents and the patients, like the center, the nucleus, and a place to escape. And so I wanted to create that space, and I came up with this idea of media centers, radio and TV studios in the center of the hospital.
So cool.
So that parents could come, kids could come down from their beds. If they can't get out of their beds, they can watch the shows that happen, and the patients create the programming, they produce the shows. Stars like Kelly Clarkson and Justin Bieber and whoever's on tour come by, and the patients interview the stars and do their own shows.
Yeah.
And we started with one, and I thought, okay, this is really great in creating some energy inside the walls of the hospital. Now we're gonna have 14 by the end of summer across the country.
It's so crazy.
And my mom and my dad and my sister all operate it. And it really, truly, as you've seen, it's just a magical place where patients forget why they're there. And
the escapism is nice.
We've had some parents say, Ryan, I have to tell you, my child would come for treatment and fight having to go to the hospital. Now my child asks me, when do we get treatment? I want to go to the Seacrest studio. And so it's really...
Look what you did there.
It's
to create something in usually a
perception.
negative environment and a sad environment and just an intense one.
It's changed the feeling a little bit. So
yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I think it's the most beautiful thing.